Going on to you Geminis out here. Hopefully y'all are having a good day. So for you Geminis, you have the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and then you Geminis also have the Two of Cups. So for you, I'm in a position where what I'm seeing about you is that a lot of you Geminis, very much so, right? You have a person or dealing with somebody who very much so is kind of willing to throw away what it is that they already have for the sake of you. And you Geminis are like, nah, they need to go home. They need to go back to where it is that they came from, because you Geminis don't even want to be living foul like that, where it's like y'all are in a position where y'all are getting to know people and you come to find out that those people have like a whole family and stuff like this. They going behind their family's back, trying to be with you, trying to get close to you and everything like that. That's foul. You know what I mean? That's foul. You know, that's lame. And so the situation with that is you're not playing around. You don't want them being around you if they have this stuff, right? And I've talked about this before, that like both sides want people who are not attached to anything, right? The only people who don't care whether or not a person has earlier attachments, whether they're married, whether they're in a relationship, whether they're in a committed relationship, on the way to being married and all that stuff, right? What is a person that's basically in the game. They're looking to get something out of it. Those are the only people who don't really care about whether or not there's another person in the picture in this love triangle or not, right? And so because the truth is that most people want someone that legitimately not only is a good match, but as far as compatibility is concerned, right? Have things in common and they can talk about certain things, but also the fact that when it comes to you and them, you know, there's least amount of obstacles in the way as possible, right? Like I've talked to some people and they say how it is that, you know, I'm not gonna say their name. I'm not gonna say what it is that they had going on, but the people whom they were dating had obstacles, and I'm just listening, right? That's too much. That's a planet too far. But they're telling me about how they don't want to have to deal with all these things in a way, and I'm like, right. So what makes you think that anybody wants that? Like people who are real about getting into relationships, they don't want to. Like when somebody says it out loud, like, look, I don't want to deal with a person who does this. It's like, oh, why not? But when you really check the record, nobody wants people who are like this. Like the ideal significant other would be a good option, a person who basically has nothing standing in the way of starting and cultivating a good relationship where the two of y'all can benefit. Nobody wants to be with someone where it's like you getting to know them and they got little ones in the way, they got family in the way, they got this in the way, that in the way, they got court in the way, they got cousins in the way, parents in the way, significant others that they're trying to excommunicate and separate from. Like, that's messy. It's messy. And so because of the fact that the nature of it is messy, you Geminis don't want them coming back, which means that a lot of you have a good head on your shoulders. So now the Devil card and the Knight of Wands right here, it always does this. The Devil card and the Knight of Wands represent how. And so once again, y'all don't want anyone like that. You telling them to go back to where it is that they came from, and they feel like you set them up, or you treat them like trash. But it's not that you Geminis are treating them like trash. Quite the opposite. Y'all are actually being honorable enough to letting them know, like, no, like, because this is not good. Like the fact that this person could go behind their significant other's back, or maybe the two of them have separated or decided not to be with each other, right? However they did it. But they have obligations, they have responsibilities, and that they're dropping all their responsibilities that they should be taking care of just to be with you. You Geminis understand that it's not good. That ain't a good look, because it makes them look weak. And then what is it that you Geminis think that you're going to get if you're in a relationship with them? If they find someone that they are a good match with, right, supposedly, they will essentially do the same thing to you. Just drop you Geminis and then go be with someone whom they are compatible with now. And so a lot of you Geminis just understand, you just see the bigger picture, like, nah, this ain't a good look on their part. And it wouldn't be a good look for you if you Geminis actually got with them and started being in a relationship with them. And so the Scorpio energy, the Hierophant and the Queen of Pentacles, right, represents how you know that this is the right thing to do. So you stop hanging out with them. You don't want anything to do with them. And you're making up a plan. If they try to come back to you, you Geminis are not interacting with them. So they're just going to have to be comfortable or okay with not actually having you around and dealing with their own stuff. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles right here ultimately is about, because they want to play that game, right? Because they want to play that game, the Queen of Pentacles, you have your own value. You have your own spiritual value. You have that. You're not going to allow somebody to be in a whole relationship and then be with you while they're in a whole relationship. That ain't going to work. And so the situation with that is the Six of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups is all about how, since that's the case, you know, the foundation of any relationship has to be foundation based in truth. Do the two of you like each other for the right reasons? And that is the foundation, that is the backbone of the relationship. If the relationship does not have that kind of solidarity, then the relationship does not need to be started. See, a lot of times, you know, even in today, you hear people talk about all these numbers, these statistics. Oh, a 10%, or a 6%, or a 5%, or a 1%, a 0.01%, right? Finances, they want this type of list. Anytime I hear people talking at, you want this type of person, you want this person to do this, and it's not based upon character, that person automatically is delusional. They're delusional, because this nonsense about, oh, I want this, that, the third. So I would have liked to hang out with Halle Berry in her prime. So, like, they don't have a plan to get closer. They don't have a plan to get closer. You dig what I'm saying? They don't know anybody that knows her. They're not like standing out in any kind of way or bringing value that would get the person to be like, okay, I see that person, right? I'm a celebrity and I'm this, or I have this value, and I see this situation, I see this and I see that. Okay, I'll pay attention to this person because this person is a standout. They're just the average Joe, the average Jane talking about they want this and they want that. Like, what are we doing right now? I you know, I didn't want to say this, but I didn't want to say this, but I got a hold of what's her name? I love her. Amanda Nunes. Got a hold of Amanda Nunes this was back in 2012, 2013. That's back when Amanda Nunes was having like her situation when it came to, like, you know, mixed martial arts and stuff like this. Anyway, right? You know, how did I get her attention? Got her attention because I brought some sort of value to the table. Same thing with Rose Namajunas, allegedly, right? There was a point in time where I was talking, allegedly, to Rose Namajunas, right? Allegedly, right? I don't know how true that is. And so Rose Namajunas and I was going back and forth, allegedly, right? Not wish, you know, something gonna happen, but just Rose wanted to know, like, what is it that I loved about your skills. And I was telling Rose Namajunas X, Y, and Z. Like, They're not doing anything, right? They just want this value and this value, and all of it is coming off as corny. You know why, Gemini? Because people have lost because it's elitist. People have lost touch with the nature of really being in a relationship. Just put it out there. They've lost touch with it. Relationships is not about 1% and how much money a person makes. That's not any of that. Relationships are about two people whom are compatible, trying to make it work with each other. That's it. That's the end of what the relationship is. Now, there's a whole lot. Now, I'm oversimplifying it because, of course, there's a whole lot of things happening with it. But from a practical standpoint, that's what it is. This nonsense about a person needing to be a 1%er or having all of these statistics, who's an 8, who's a 9, who's this. Anytime you hear somebody talk about this nonsense, my dear Geminis, about who's an 8, 9, 10, and all of that, you know that that person is goofy. I don't even codify the people who I'm trying to get to know or look at. This is an 8. This is a 9. This is a 7. This is a 6. I don't even do any of that stuff. To me, it's, are they pretty enough? Are they do they meet the attractiveness, physical attractiveness requirement? Yes, no, no. Let's find out if there's other things that they have about them that are attractive. Yes. Let's find out if there's other things about them that are attractive. Like, there is no such thing as an 8, a 9, a 10. Like, every time I've heard people talk about these numbers and having to codify somebody as numbers, they're in the game. Because they didn't really like these people. Think about it. They didn't really like these people, Gemini. They didn't really like you, Geminis, if they classified you with these numbers. They just wanted to get, you feel what I'm saying? They just wanted to hang out with you for a specific reason. Think about it. They wasn't really trying to get good with you to say that they was really, they see your beauty and your beauty is beauty and they think you fine, but also they trying to get close to you to find out who you actually are with the fineness. No, they just, oh, yo, Gemini look good. I want some of Gemini. Like, and so the last two cards right here represent 6 of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, which is about, and so again, 50-50, yo. 50-50 your way through it, yo, because what you Geminis just did was 50-50. I'll say it again. I said it before and I'll say it again. You paying attention to see if this person is free and there is nothing in their way of actually being in a relationship with you. And you realize that this person failed. They got all kinds of stuff in their way. They may even have a family in their way. And so a lot of you Geminis understand you would be giving in the relationship, because let's just say you were to actually be like, forget about it. You're going to still move forward with this thing anyway. You would be the only one giving. They would be giving far less and far profoundly, right? The meaning quality wise than you would. You know why? Because you would feel alone. They got their family and whatever to go back to, right? And they getting the best of both worlds. They get you, they get the significant other in which they're still with or whomever. And you get them to come around every time they come around, and you just part-time get them. This is why I keep saying that 50-50 has way more to do with it than just finances. 50-50 is also about an equal footing. Like, it's way more to do than just finances. It's about if the person is even ready to be in a real relationship or not. Me personally, I don't have anything going on as far as a significant other. So if a person was to come to me and I accept them in, there's no obstacles in the way. But the question is, now that I've stated that, the question is, if I'm trying to get to know them, do they have things in the way to where, let's just say if I'm trying to get to know this person, they got all this kind of this and that. And the thing about it is that this is why it is that I say that these non-50-50 relationships, because the dynamic is uneven. You got to be the one calling, right? They want you to be the one calling. They want you to be the one putting in all this effort. So you jumping through, in essence, you jumping through hoops. This person is putting a whole obstacle course between you and them, and you got to go through this obstacle course. Instead of 50-50, they work out their stuff, you work out your stuff. Y'all don't have any stuff getting in the way, and y'all just interact with each other and just roll like that. Why the two of y'all can't do that? A lot of times people get too caught up with the 50-50 thing of X, Y, Z. So let's clarify the Knight of Cups and get out of here. People only think about money. Watch where their mind goes when they only think about money. When you start talking about 50-50, oh, anytime you see their mind automatically goes to finances, you know what it is that you're getting. Because 50-50, why wouldn't y'all want a relationship to be 50-50? Everyone should want one. Because you don't want your significant other showing you love back. You don't want your significant other showing you just as much attention as you're showing them, and appreciation as you're showing them. So you got to be the ones going after them hard to please them, and they're never pleased, or they're just taking and taking and taking. I don't know if I want that. So I don't want that. The Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Pentacles, the Sun card, the Two of Pentacles, and then you Geminis also have the Scorpio energy, which you have in the reading anyway. So it just proves, right, to clarify the Knight of Cups. So the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles just proves my point yet again. Like, you Geminis, you Geminis understand that perspective, that this person is not a good match for you, and that it's time, and that is more than enough time for you to stop taking it easy on people. Where when you hear they have all these obstacles, like their life is not settled enough to be qualified for a relationship. They don't have a plan. Their life is not settled, and they got all this stuff going on. Then they want a relationship, and it's like, well, what you want a relationship for if you got a significant other from the past won't stop coming around, causing situations to pop up. You got to constantly call the person to leave you alone. All this stuff happening. And then this person wants a significant other. And so the Wheel of Fortune and the Scorpio energy right here represents a lot of you are not accepting that. You got to take this for what this is, and you understand how to better deal with people. You're learning how to be a better socialite, as if you couldn't be a better socialite enough already. That's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. I'm at 24,900, so we're on the verge of getting to 25,000. Quarter of 100,000. Wow. Amazing. Anyway, smash the subscribe button, like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Please come through for a personal reading, or if you want to get a birth chart reading, if you want to buy any of my books. I am an author, about to actually make another book. This is for the magic heads, for the people who get themselves, in magic and stuff like this. No book on the planet Earth is like this, even amongst people who are in magic. No book like that. Anyway, and so because of that fact, check it out. Also, if you want to get some Kareemspiritworks clothing, you can. The link to all of that is in the Linktree link, right? The Linktree link in the comment section below. Peace.